entrance. There we go. Team Spirit versus NaVi. It's ESL Pro League Season 16, Chad. This should be a banger. It's a domestic derby, a Royal Rumble if you like, and I think that's appropriate. We've got Simple on the server and the king of esports, Sponge, in attendance. How are you doing, sir?
Look, I think this game right here, when you start the group, you think, okay, it's just the opening round. But we all know by the time we get to the final day of these round robins, things seem to get a little bit funky. So I think NaVi necessarily need to pull up their boots and make sure they're able to confirm the victory here. But we're underway into the pistol round, and they've been fortunate with the CT side. A squeaky door looking like it's going to get blown open any moment here. 1xBet odds top of your screen, and not surprising, favoring NaVi.
Well, here we go then. CT star for NaVi, and they've got the dual Berettas out for Perfecto as well. 1 HE grenade as the execution comes through. As the first frag on multi-soil comes in, it's Patsy that goes down, a key fragging unit. And it's going to be a couple of kills as Simple as well. 4 versus 2, Chopper and Wonderful to try and pick up the pieces, but it's not looking too good for them. No,
they opened the door there before the molly landed top hut, given a chance for a duel. The opening coming the way of NaVi, and now just to mop up the pieces here, Wonderful and Chopper. They'd love to get their hands on this bomb, but Simple on the prowl, peppered away for now. But the push is coming through lobby, more space to be taken, and there you go, Wonderful. Gonna have to hit a couple of those against Simple throughout this series.
Yeah, it was up to NaVi to give those opportunities up, and there it is. Simple will be giving that first frag away. 3 versus 2, still a lot of HP here available, and they're looking for that next frag here. Electronic, next up, fires off the shot. They know where he is now, and they have recovered the bomb as well. A headshot comes through, down at 3 HP. 40 seconds remain, and Bit trying to close the gap here, trying to lock them in towards a lobby, but there's another kill, and they're just offering themselves up here, Chad.
Yeah, one at a time here. No trade potential on any of these, and now they've actually given up a lot of map control, but towards the lower site they go. Bomb on the back, HP advantage now there. Into the window side, they'll trundle, and both of them just clearing out to make sure nobody lying in wait, but down the fireman pole, the vent, the quick rotation coming through, and SDY may be the first to take contact here.
This was a 4 versus 2, a foregone conclusion it felt like as well. NaVi had this one in the bag, and now on the back foot, bomb down, and only 3 HP for Electronic. They'll come together, and it's another great shot from Wonderful here. They've got the advantage. Some die young. His days might be numbered as they fall back. They get a retreat, and now he has to actually try and find his first aggressive kill. Not going to happen, and that's an absolute nightmare for NaVi.
Yeah, safe pair of hands as SDY, but left in a very difficult position there. And what started well for NaVi, I spoke about the door getting swung open on that top side execute from Spirit, felt a little bit premature, and they're able to turn it around here. So slowing it down. Now they're going to have to consider how this one... Oh, okay, so the smoke on top of the hut as well. So it's a bit of a combo there. Molly smoke top hut just to be able to, I would assume, get down the vent.
Right, exactly.
Thought the smoke top hut looked a little bit skew-if there, but good catch on the replay, and great stuff from Wonderful. Right, this kid, he's only played 12 maps with this squad. A very fresh young lad to be brought up, filled the shoes of Dexter, joining the team. Cologne was pretty decent for them. I don't know how many of us thought they could recover since Dexter did leave the starting 5, and well, Patty has really been the revelation of this squad.
Well, a little bit of a frustrating start there for NaVi. A round in their favor, thrown away. They will force fight back into the second here. The scout on Simple, and what a scout it is. Patsy, he'll be removed from the equation there quite early on, and it's a 5 versus 4. We still have a couple of smokes on the CT side, and they are focusing towards the upper bomb side here. You can see that first smoke being deployed towards Squeaky.
Very rifle heavy here as well for Spirit. You can see a lot of Galil's AK in the mix here. They are down a man, and I was just talking about the X factor that Patsy can bring. This does start to become a bit of an issue here.
Absolutely.
There's still another smoke on SDY. Yeah, continue to funnel that, block this door position. And you can see the setup towards that top site. You've got a player in the rafters, one top hut, one over towards main. Simple still roaming around with that scout towards the yard position, and Bit, he's just playing for contact and fall. So as the clock gets lower, this is not looking good for Spirit.
Yeah, down to 35 seconds here. It's actually a bit of a problem, and these choke points are difficult to navigate. Some die young with the 5-7, the perfect weapon to get a couple of kills in that position. 20 seconds here, and here we go. The first kill goes in favor of Magic. That's absolutely massive here. That should be their entrance in towards the upper bomb side. Do they want to take it? They absolutely do. The 5-7, not as strong as I was expecting there, and we will see a lot of kills going in favor of Team Spirit. Perfecto will offer himself up, sacrifice himself to the gods, and it's a 3 versus 1. Another promising round from NaVi there. Doesn't work out for them.
No, you're not going to get too many of those openings on force buys like this. So Simple provides, but NaVi cannot close, and they had to stack towards the right side as well. So again, another well-handled round from Spirit. Maybe Yanko's prediction might come true here today.
Yeah, I feel like there's a reason they picked Nuke, right? Everyone's like, well, it's NaVi's best map. But yeah, they've been grinding. We haven't seen them play, what, 8 weeks?
It's
since
been
Cologne,
a long
right?
time, yeah.
So they've had plenty of time to watch their opposition. Remember, NaVi, although they're a blast, the first few games didn't have Simple. He only actually played 2 maps in the end.
That's crazy, right?
But
They only
still,
played
they've
2
come
maps.
straight from one event into this one.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate the way it kind of worked out for them being in Group A, but you've got plenty of intel. You've seen their potential weaknesses and the way they approach things. They wouldn't have had time to really adjust too much to their game plan.
Yeah, and that's just a little frustrating one there for Perfecto early, right? You never want to be, you're getting the -1 in that column. Now, look, fortunately for him, he's got 1 to his name.
Yeah.
You never want to find -1 and
It's not a
15.
good feeling, is it?
You know, you've seen people go there before.
You're immortalized at that point.
Yeah.
No one's going to forget about that.
That's the way it could get worse for Hooksy, right?
Sure. Yeah,
you know,
okay.
2 for 15 is one thing. -1 and that's a whole different kettle of fish.
Yeah, because you had to either take yourself down or a teammate as well, and then everyone's just frustrated. You're working against the squad at that point. And Simple has brought up the scout once more. Doesn't look like he invested himself. He's been dropped in, and we'll see the first shots rattle out. It will do very well against this wall of smoke to do anything against it, unfortunately for him. We've got Patsy already down towards Secret, and Someday on Perfecto looking to aggress in towards the lobby.
I think the Zeus right now on Perfecto. Let's see if we can make the lovely sound effects here early. Pro League, we like to have a little bit more fun. Look, I practice in my private time. Oh, that's a dink, and well, that's
Nice
another.
shots.
The Zeus doesn't even come out to play. So right now, Spirit are just taking care of business in a lot of these situations. A great start from them, looking very likely to be this 3-0 conversion.
And on the T side of Nuke, Chad, your pick as well, that's an excellent start. Like, it's some of those difficult rounds in CS, getting number 2 and 3 in there, locking them in on the T side especially, this is big.
I had a couple of issues, right? When Spirit still had Dexter on the roster, and,
Sure.
and I covered them during an RMR, and I watched them on this map versus Sinners, they got blown out, and I was like, what? And then they qualified for the major, and they had that crazy run with Dexter, and you know, I think their match against FaZe was probably one of the better matches of that major. I think it was in the semi-final game. Then once Dexter goes, you start to ask some questions, but Team Spirit on Nuke in this environment, you've mentioned it, they're obviously coming here with a bit of a game plan. They've shown that they're happy to pick it and play it in pressure games in the past. What is the weakness that they're going to try and target of NaVi, right? Because this is the question. We look at NaVi as a great team with the system of Blade behind it. It's no longer just Simple needing to go get all the kills alongside of Electronic. They have a great system. We like what we're seeing. So what does Chopper the Madman sitting there in the middle come up with as the weak point? Where do they want to target? Who are they going to force to be a little bit awkward in the rotations? And we're about to find out, because we will be getting into these gun rounds. AWP out for Simple, rifles for the rest. All silence varieties.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see just the rifles for Team Spirit, trying to conserve some of that cash with a couple of Galils in the mix as well. Magic's working towards the hut, and it looks like a bit of an outside play once again. We're going to see those smokes be deployed. We've got Chopper on towards the silo here, just trying to see if he can find any sort of intel and distract potentially as Electronic. His nade won't quite connect there. Bit of a spray through as well. Not finding anything just yet, but no commitment from Team Spirit. Is feeling it out first.
And to note, Simple starting at ramp right here, so they're actually opting to take a little bit more lobby control, allowing Spirit to crawl across yard behind these smokes to get the space. And Electronic, for a spam kill or two on the fade, will just get away. And it's going to be SDY down here to have to deal with this. Flash in his hand, or on his belt buckle, as he's got 4 coming his way. This is going to be a difficult fight.
Absolutely. I think this is the perfect call on these sort of rounds. Sticking together when the money is not great for the CT side. They might not necessarily have all of their grenades. You've got a couple of drills. You've got the Wolfpack mentality here. And here's the commitment. Someday Young spots them. He'll need rotations here. There's no way he can take that fight alone. And here comes the cavalry. Simple. What? The best backup you could probably ask for. But the AWP...
Get smoked and mollied off here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, well, window gets cracked open. There's the shot from Simple, now playing ahead of the smoke. Knows he needs to help SDY. Flash is coming forward here. SDY still, well, no longer standing tall. Pats is going to take him, and Simple's Orb's going to grab another 25 seconds on the clock here.
It's looking quite good for NaVi. They definitely need this round to go in their favor. 4-0 start would be a nightmare of sorts. They have the 4 versus 3, but they've had plenty of those even in this map so far. Electronic keeps pulling kills back, and there it is. That should secure things here. It's 10 seconds. Magic's towards the back steps, but not really much of a chance in this one. Bomb is down, and he'll have to sacrifice the round and give it up as we go 3-1. NaVi find that first round. They secure the AWP as well. Save the M4. Not the cleanest of rounds, but they'll certainly take it, considering how much freedom Team Spirit had to get down towards Secret there.
Yeah, Simple just peaking on the right timings there. The window got broken, and the U2 wasn't flying through immediately there. So it grabs the freebie off of the sound cue, and the second, knowing he has to push through the smoke, because they want to isolate SDY's position there. So a good job from NaVi to mop this up after giving up all the territory. But you've got to worry about Boris the Butcher, mate. I'm just saying, you saw him kick over that chair in Cologne. This kid, he ain't messing around. Boris ain't messing around.
He's absolutely not. But like we said, that was the first kind of like, not so much a bonus round here from Team Spirit, but they had a couple of kills in the mix. Now they've got Wonderful, the replacement for Dexter. Maybe not as aggressive, but certainly as skilled. And we'll see whether he can actually step up here on a map like Nuke.
Well, we've seen Neil around. Maybe we'll have to pick his brain. I know that he helped Wonderful get situated in Europe.
Right.
And
That's
then not too long after that, able to find himself in this roster. So a good proving ground for the young gun. Has been a lot of hype around the AWPers from the region. Deco's another one over at 1 win at the moment with Flamey. Electronic with the Famous down towards the lower side here, already responding to this yard control. And really just taking their time as Spirit. There's no rush about it. It's not the chopper that maybe some remember running like a madman with a MAC-10. They are playing very methodical Counter-Strike here.
But it's the exact same approach here once again. So Chopper holding the flanks, 3 players down. He's just making sure that no one follows them down towards Secret. Electronic this time to defend. And as I said, the round they won was good, of course, but they only managed to keep 2 players alive. So Famas is here to defend, and you can see this passive play from Electronic. Just wants to get a decent setup here. He'll get behind the silo in the lower bomb site. Call for the cavalry once more. Simple this time, can't hit the shot, Chad. That's a massive kill from Patsy.
Yeah, they're going to run him down here fast into the site. Electronic needs to deal with this, and the smoke forward. Patsy with the second, and surely the round here. Bit the only one to respond, and he's going to be dealt a dud hand too. Patsy, early X-Factor material right here.
Yeah, so confident as well. A lot of hype around Patsy, a player to watch on the server for sure, but those were clinical kills there. Simple had all the advantages in the world. He gets his head cleanly ripped off. Fantastic work, and there's nothing to be said about the round. NaVi just have to save and give it up.
This is one of the things with NaVi, right? When they're chasing their tail a little bit, because they're trying to sniff out exactly where Spirit are in some of these certain situations, that's when you need the players to step up with the multi-kill. But when they're setting the tone, Simple goes aggressive, Electronic pushes yard, that's when they're feeling the flow and they're forcing Spirit where they want them. Right now, Spirit are getting all the room. And this is a factor, right, that when you have the early game, it tends to go a little bit overlooked. But with all the force buys or the half buys or someone buying a deagle, when you get into the first gun rounds these days, it's not like it used to be back in our day where you would have your M4, your armor, and all the util, and most players would have a defuse kit, right? You have a couple of emissions, whether that's with util, whether that's with weapons, and the ramifications of that is how much space can possibly be taken to be jarring on the CT target, how much delaying you can do, and oh, nice little adjustment there from Patsy as we're going to catch this on the replay. Diligent too, like leading the pack.
Absolutely.
You tend to get a little bit more focused, like laser focused on well, not clearing all your corners, which doesn't sound like being laser focused, but you get the bloodlust, right? So for him there to take his time, isolate all those jewels, really good round, and you can see what it's done here.
Yeah, simple yet effective for Team Spirit, managing to get the same smokes down towards Secret, sending their star players in. Patsy cleans up, gets himself 3 frags, and that's the round over. Perfecto with the M4. He'll be on top of the CT boxes here, and it's a great shot and takes down the protagonist of the previous round. Patsy has dropped. Still a lot of work to do here, but it's a decent start. He'll have to rotate, presumably. Perfecto now wants to go towards ramp perfectly, or maybe up top of heaven.
This would be nightmare scenario, though, for Spirit after this great start that we're talking about, recovering rounds after opening picks, to then lose to 1 M4 and a couple of upgraded pistols, fortunately. Wonderful will grab one back here.
Mr. Wonderful. Looking forward to seeing what he can do on the CT side as well, how mobile he'll be, whether he'll have that dynamic aspect to him. I'm sure he will. Perfecto for now went towards the upper bomb site, and we'll just pump the brakes a little bit here. 1 minute hits, and we still have plenty of flashes, not so much in terms of smokes here for Team Spirit. 1 left, that's in the hands of Chopper. Siren has made his way down towards lower, just feeding out the situation. They know money's low on the CT side, but they have to find out where they're stacked.
This might be something they've identified here, because think about how often they've played through Secret towards lower, right? Maybe it's a little bit understaffed. Maybe they know that they can get all this backhaul control against NaVi, but oh, I thought for a moment there might be the pivot up the vent, which would, in this situation, be the absolute wrong call. But over towards single door, and that one smoke that's remaining is going to be perfectly plopped on towards the side there, facilitating this plant. Siren is going to take that space, use the smoke in his favor, and they're in. The bomb will go down, 15 seconds left on the clock, and, well, this should be another Spirit round.
Should be. You want to save that M4. You don't want to be going for these ones. Like, you've got armor as well on the 5.7s. Like, saving pistols might look a little bit strange to some viewers, but that armor is worth its weight in gold. If you can keep the secondary weapon as well, that'd be great.
They might not be able to get away with this. Magic's currently, well, not watching the line. Caught some leg, grabs 2, and Perfecto. They know where the rifle is now. So the fact that he does get that trade there, Simple's going to be able to pick up an AK here as well. So as we piece together some of the finer details, another key with the 2,900 loss bonus into the next. An AWP for Simple now is without question. But a 5-1 start here, and I'm sure Yanko in the green room is talking a bit of trash right now to Kasad, I imagine.
I didn't realize we'd be going that sort of energy on day one.
Oh, they're like brothers.
Straight in there.
They're like brothers.
Yeah. Wow, that's going to be an interesting season. I'm glad I'm here. It's been a while. It's, what, 2 years since I joined in the fun?
When Yanko and Kasad just go, Trace, he winds them up. I don't know if people say he winds them up.
Yeah.
But it's great to see that. And I understand, right? A lot of people aren't used to that type of a relationship. That's okay. But a lot of people think that like Yanko and Kasad like hate each other. It's like it's the complete opposite. they love each other. That's why they can disagree like this.
Yeah, it's brotherly love, you know. Well then, here we go. The first real gun round here. We're going to see everything, all the bells and whistles. Simple in the AWP once again. And here come the smokes once more.
It's a change.
Yeah, it is a bit of a change. We're not seeing the same sort of outside play. It's much slower paced here.
And again, they've given up all this yard control. Electronic, you know, we see him play forward towards the red box, close up under what's that silo, as everybody may remember from the major final.
They have got Simple towards CT spawn this time, however. So his orb's not down towards lower upper. He's not rotating through the vents, so he maybe can have a bit more impact when they do cross, if they cross. Because now you've kind of put the fear of God in them. With these two outside
have
plays,
to respect it.
Yeah, they absolutely have to react to it now. They can't allow 4 players to get down Secret just scot-free. They have to try and challenge.
All right, now no challenge here at all. Still quite in the dark, NaVi. Posting up, hoping for a reaction, and well, yeah, they've called their bluff in a big way. You can see they've only rotated one man down towards the lower side, that is SDY, and they're turning their attention back towards A. Perfecto is going to need to step up here in conjunction with Electronic as the hit comes through. It's a backside molly available here. Perfecto is going to get hot under his toes. Oh, but Electronic's just walking straight in. He's been spotted. He might give it away here. Electronic with 2. The conversion, the AK pickup. This one's stalled out right now. They're not going to get past Electronic. 3 kills from him, and he wanted more, but wonderful. Eventually stops him at the gate.
It looked like he stepped out of line, but anything but that. Electronic lighting 3 of them up. 4 versus 2 at this point. Wonderful, and Chopper left to pick up the pieces, and not really much to pick up with 15 seconds remaining. You've just got to save, yeah. And they actually spotted Electronic there. You could see the foot movement there. They were trying to swing around and get him, but it's such a stifling area of the map, and he actually lights up to get to the AK-47 and closes them down. Very nice from Electronic.
Chopper seeing if he get a kill there, trying to keep the finances a little bit lower for the CT side, but AWP will be retained. Plenty of cash, some drops can come through if required. Only 1 player at that 4K mark, I believe. So real bougie situation to find yourself in if you are Spirit right now. But Electronic, the fact he gets 3, this is round done, right? When we talk about individual impact, right, or we talk about multi, this is exactly it, right? This is the round being won here with a 3K.
You can see the frustration there. They definitely shouldn't have allowed more than 1 kill against him, but 3 players from Team Spirit mowed down in towards the hub position, and that's a foundation round for NaVi. They needed that. It had to be clean, and Electronic delivers here. Back to the outside smokes.
Change.
It is not the same smoke, so you can see they're going much faster, and that is sending 4 players down once again. It's 3, and Chopper actually not with them, I believe. So we'll see what kind of plan they have. They'll Chopper is in second this time.
Well, SDY just took a chunk of damage there. He's down to 11 points of health there already, so maybe there was a molly or a nade over towards that vent at the start of the round, right? Because he's the first rotation point. Currently 0 kills for SDY, and he knows they're coming. A molly forward, a flash back, smoke about to fade.
Here we go. He needs to find at least a couple of kills here. Spotted, falls back, repositions. He knows he's low. 1 bullet will do it. Patsy has full control of the vents as well. This is a bit of a nightmare for NaVi. They will call for the back up towards lower. Bits will join Sumda Young, but at this stage, full control granted towards Team Spirit. Flashbang not great, but still, everyone's still alive.
SDY is just trying to be bait right now on this low HP, just putting himself out there, trying to set Bit up.
Ooh, hasn't gone well. Wonderful hit. Great shot. Yeah, he does inflict a lot of damage towards Chopper. Wonderful at 51 HP as well. They still have 2 players down here. It's Simple, who's been managing to hit these shots, but normally smoked off in this spot. There's Sumda Young is found. Chopper takes him down, and Simple needs at least 2 here. Finds the first, that's Patsy. Siren will follow shortly after. And here we go. Simple starting to warm up now. 3 versus 2, 20 seconds remaining, and low HP for Wonderful and Magics. Great sequence there from Simple.
Oh, they need to get this bomb right now. It's down in the middle of the site. There's no time for this. Surely not just another individual round to win this one. And Simple, maybe he's not done just yet. That's going to be the 4th, the 5th of Magics. The last man standing is just going to have to sit here and wait.
Just when you needed him to step up there. Sumda Young scrambling on the bomb side, backs to the wall, and Simple rotates him once again, finds 4 kills, clean as you like as well. Didn't seem to be under any pressure. They didn't have enough utility after expending so much outside, and you can see that's a big, big round for NaVi and Simple and Co there, because Money's still pretty decent for Team Spirit, but they're starting to be broken at this point. You have to start dropping some weapons over. They want the AWP especially.
Yeah, I think one of the keys in this type of a situation here is the fact that Simple is given all this room to continue to go for these peaks. And the third one, he should have been mollied off, right? But they get a bit under pressure as that molly's coming through. He can stand behind it, use it to his advantage. So in back-to-back rounds for NaVi now, their first 2 consecutive rounds in this map so far have been with massive individual performances from the King himself and the hand of the King Electronics. So a really good start for the individuals at least, but you'd hope for, especially when we look at NaVi, more cohesive Counter-Strike, right?
Absolutely.
This is the top-tier team who's like, we should be 1 for Bit, 1 for Perfecto here, maybe Simple gets a double. So we'll have to wait and see if they can start to all settle in, because SDY with 0 kills and Bit with 1, they're having a tough go of things here early.
Yeah, I'd like to see a stronger response to the outside presence we're seeing so far, but either way, into round number 9 we go. Someday Young will be dropping the incendiary in towards Squeaky Door. You can see it's a bit of a compromise setup here. Weapons having to be dropped. We've got Galil's Mac 10s. Not necessarily a problem, but not ideal for sure. And there's the first kill with the HE grenade.
Well, it's on the board.
It's on the board, yeah. That's his first kill. You're absolutely right there. So, basic smokes this time, not the set smokes and T-spawn, more on the fly. Trying to see if they can get one player to cross. That's going to be Patsy. We've seen him do unspeakable things in the lower bomb side already in this map, but he's going to have to step up in this 4 versus 5.
Could have been a double there. The spacing limit off, the feet spotted on the prowl here. Window will be broken. Chopper's going to note where that rotation is through. Sold out again towards the lower side, but NaVi have a bit more time to set up here. And Electronic again looking to get a little bit naughty ahead of the smoke. SDY was second in the round and second for the map, but the trades back into a 3-on-3, and Chopper's got some room on the side, but has been noted.
Perfect crossfire there from NaVi. Just Someday Young, full target, fully exposed. Didn't just have the top of the stair to work with there, and we do have a 3-on-3.
He's running!
Simple hits the shot running! He doesn't care, does he? Just runs into the lobby. It's fully broadcast, and at this point, he doesn't seem to mind what's happening in each and every round. Siren and Wonderful left with about 100 HP between them, and a lot of work to do here. Towards Heaven, Perfecto seems to be aware of it, and Simple, he's in that hot position. Great shot, though.
Some bangers of aim here. Perfecto's got one of his own, and it's just Wonderful. 20 points of health. Down the vent he goes. That has been heard. Oh, Bit doesn't want to take the fight. Trying to play this one by the book. Maybe hasn't been noted how low Wonderful truly is. And he's just playing games with them right now. Wonderful should get the bomb down, so that's fantastic work here in a round that looked done for them. They do still get that bomb down. There's a positive. Wonderful already had a boatload of cash left over if he wants to bring out the AWP.
True.
You mentioned the Mac 10 that came out too, so maybe Spirit wanting to operate with something a little bit quicker. But as soon as they lost that nade kill early, they lost the lobby prong and were just condemned towards yard. But they did a great job trading against that crossfire lower.
Absolutely. Like, it looked like that was a round completely tied up at that point. The Electronic and Someday Young crossfire looked like it was going to do so much damage there, but still, bomb does go down, and we do have Wonderful with $5,000, so the money will be absolutely fine. We'll probably see the AWP come out in the next. Perfecto recovers the sniper for Simple as well, and there we have it. Couple of kills building.
So that's a positive too. I don't know, 5 on the T half. If it wasn't against NaVi, I'd be like, yeah, this is already pretty good. Right, this is already not too bad. Here's Simple just run. Oh, wasn't he running? No, he was running. Okay, so he did a bit of the stop-start. that's the stutter step.
Yeah.
That was mean, actually.
Chopper there waiting for him as well, and just gets completely wrecked. His head taken off, and a conservative finish from Bit, like he said, allows him to plant, but he does stay alive and seal the deal. As we get into another partial from Team Spirit, more of an eco, I suppose, just the Tech 9s, and an upper rush here. Through the flames they go, and Perfecto, he's all too happy to oblige for that first kill. Patsy and Siren removed, and that could be it for round number 10 in itself. Not really much to report.
Yeah, that's the thing with these type of buys, right? They seem like they can be a delectable prospect. The Tech 9s are in hand, but it comes down to getting that space, and we talk about this a lot, right? We talk about CT protocols with utility. One of the key areas on the map that you want to make sure that you're dissuading early is that squeaky and hut position, right? Because teams can just skyrocket out, especially if you're a little bit lighter on the defense. So they've handled that, and now it's Bit's turn to mop up a couple here. The AK-47, yeah, very conservative stuff from Bit, doesn't want to hand over too much. Is considered the idea of hanging around, but will dip back. Ramp room is lost, but when you consider Magic's low, no utility left over. This one should already be done.
And also just to note as well, you've already mentioned it, the fact we've got 5 rounds on the T side already. Yeah. It's absolutely fine to take these sort of rounds and let's experiment with the upper bomb site, see what those protocols are on the CD side, see if there's any weaknesses, maybe you can break through. A Tech 9 is a snowball weapon. One frag can lead to many, and Bit, well, he'll be tested right now against them. Surely gets the first, and that's going to be Chopper and the bomb. clinical stuff so far. And as I said, nothing really too much to report here. Simple closes out the round.
Wonderful's had some sharp shots, hasn't he?
Absolutely.
He's had some good, not just on the AWP. We've seen it just there with the Deagle. The AK shots before were quite nice as well. So good to see him finding some impact early. And maybe another point that hasn't been considered. This is sometimes what players and teams like to do. But the fact that Spirit haven't played an official since Cologne, maybe that's why, you know, they went, okay, well, we can game plan against NaVi, right? And we'll start on the T side for our first game of the season. So at least we can set the tone, and grow from there. So it is always weird when you see a team, you know, first of all, giving NaVi their best map here.
Well, here we go, Simple. This is the response to that outside presence we were looking for, and this time he is aggressive. To say the very least, he wants to try and get this first kill, but has made the noise of the scope. Patsy should have heard that, but he seems oblivious to it. So that's the first kill. Simple wants a bit more out of this, just pushing once again. No respect, Chad, and he will be punished by Wonderful.
Okay, well, I think once you see Patsy, you think maybe it is just the Patsy lurk. So Bloodlust lures him forward, and Wonderful will draw it back, and plenty of nades left over for Spirit here to work with a minute 15 on the clock. On the other side for NaVi, scrambling down with the meta at the moment. Lobby control, that is name of the game. Creeping on in, and Perfecto gets the better of Magix. How's he done that?
There's been so many of those sort of kills where you think the teams have got all the advantages in the world, and NaVi just strike them down. So there we have it, 4 versus 3. Outside presence once again. Simple has been dropped, so the AWP is removed. So they have an advantage in that sense for the picks, but SDY takes his attention away from main just for a second. Did Chopper spot the barrel? Well, doesn't matter, he gets the kill regardless. 3 on 3, and they're right back in the round here.
Well, towards Heaven, lots of space can be taken, but just going to feign those sound cues is Wonderful to creep on in. Bit not going to find any information. It's Electronic who steps on up, so confirmed now. Chopper's going to grab Bit as well, and it's just Perfecto. This is the guy to draw one back towards the hut. They know where he plays.
Yeah, absolutely true. And we do have Siren holding towards the lobby position. He's got the bomb. He needs to be very careful here. Chopper will be leading the way. He'll presumably be dropped here and down towards lower they go. That's a great call from Siren. Drops the Molotov on the fade. And that's the bomb down towards lower, no problem. Perfecto will be aware of that, and I guess he'll go for it.
Well, there's money available here, right? Bit is the current player with the least amount of cash money to the name. He's looking for the AWP.
Said the AWP.
Yeah, looking if he can find this AWP. Okay, he's got the information. It was aggressive. Oh, no wonder I couldn't find it. You were towards T-spawn.
Oh, you pushed towards T-boxes, did you? Excellent.
Okay. Well, we've got it, though. We've got the AWP. We have it. It's a situation saved here, and the AWP as well. So back in the winning ways, Spirit will break the streak. That was 4 consecutive rounds in a row for NaVi.
Yeah, I was still surprised. Simple with the click of the scope there by the boxes, and Patsy didn't hear him at all.
Yeah, I was thinking it could have been one of these comm situations where teammates were talking a lot, or, you know, there's always an answer for some of these questions. And what I was noting there as well, especially with that push into hut, there's this phenomenon in Counter-Strike, right? If you're the one who's initiating the fight, like Perfecto was right there, you know what angles you want to clear, where Magix the entire time has to stay focused on this crosshair for exactly this P. So he doesn't know when the fight's coming, he just knows it's always a potential, right? Whereas Perfecto's the one setting that tone. So those type of fights, I think for most of us, we feel it's easier to initiate a duel than it is for us to sit back and take those, because holding angles can be a little bit hit and miss sometimes.
Well, NaVi are certainly enjoying walking into the crosshairs of Team Spirit. Most of the time it's working out in their favor, but some rounds it is falling apart. Certainly early on, and Simple once again offers himself up. Siren comes out on top, does take a bullet to the leg there, down to 19 HP, but still another huge scalp to take, Chad. You're taking down the King so early on, you just pump the brakes at this point. You can just work out the map. You've still got, is it 5 smokes? Still got 4 of them available. Yeah, and it's the CTs on the back foot.
The way they've been doing it has already been great. So it's a huge plus to have a number advantage in this type of a situation with a minute 20 left on the clock here.
Yeah, and you'd expect a response from NaVi, and they've been providing those when it's not even called for. So you'd assume they'll be walking through and trying to find an advantageous position if possible, but...
Well, they know there's no AWP. They can just cross here without any sound cues. Look at the brazen nature of this. They will spot Perfecto, not necessarily the best duel for the M4 at range, but he does have help. SDY springs the trap. Electronic now on the tail, but Siren, with the picked up AWP, Bogdan's Law, finds him another kill. So, yeah, Spirit are reading these situations quite well.
They absolutely are.
I'm impressed.
It's perfect so far. Bits does pull one back. The round is not said and done just yet. Hold your horses. Perfecto brings it back to a 3-on-3. 35 seconds here on the clock. Still 2 smokes, a Molotov flashes. Still get the advantage towards Team Spirit at this point. Definitely on a map like Nuke as well. Where have they positioned their chips? There's one player towards lower. That's Bit. Young needs this kill, and he delivers. Flashbang on the follow-up, and Siren, low HP, needs to be very careful. Remember, it was Simple that tagged him up at the start. That was his opportunity, but it is squandered.
After the roll here, Siren looking for his third kill of the round right now. They know one towards backside. The cavalry has arrived. Heaven now noted, and SDY will take down one, Perfecto the other, in a round that started so well. Finishes in 6-6.
They were given all the advantages in the world there. The Simple frag, the start, a follow-up kill, a 5 versus 3, and they just couldn't close it out, couldn't find that positional control outside. They were taking heavy damage from the M4s towards the AC units. Back towards upper they go, and just a fantastic sequence from the NaVi boys, getting themselves right back in the round. This is Electronic going down, and Siren, you would think that's the moment the round's over. 5 on 3, but it wasn't meant to be, and it was bit. They shot through the smoke just about, takes down Chopper, forces them back towards upper. Young, and he had 2 kills coming into this round, but he certainly delivered there. That's a huge frag. And we're back into it. Electronic will find Siren.
Yeah, he's dead. So, revenge.
I thought that was still the replay. Didn't want to speak too soon, but there we have it.
No, I think here, we've already spoken about the rounds that we're looking for. I don't know how many Team Spirit have set for themselves as a bar, but if I was Chopper right now, I'd be very content with how things have unfolded.
Absolutely. Like, yeah, sure, the last few rounds haven't been great for them, but still 6 on the board. You're holding them.
That's good too.
You're holding them back, and yeah, that's a great frag. They've got full ramp control here. Perfecto needs to be very careful. If he goes down to one of these pistols, the round is cracked wide open for Team Spirit here, and here comes the challenge. Lots of damage done. Perfecto will take Patsy with him, and Simple's there to back up. He has been very, very aggressive so far, and rightly so. He's hitting most of his shots. That should secure the round, but still not out of the woods just yet. With a low HP on Perfecto, he'll be thrown over the AWP, and they'll fall back, which is nice to see. You don't want to be offering up any more weapons in these situations.
Yeah, they want to try and grab it off of Bit's body, but they had to take their time. Worried about that AWP continuing to peak. Scooped up now, bomb on the way towards the site, and SDY, what did I title it? SDY's Revenge.
Yeah.
The blockbuster feature of Group A kicking off first thing of the day, but one and done. Magix will get the trade, and he's actually playing to win the round. Doesn't want to get the bomb down here, just wants to try and look for a fight if there was anyone hightailing in his general direction. Another duel offered, Simple dink don down. Perfecto's low as well, and Electronic will start and finish this round. So 7 now, NaVi in the lead.
For the first time, yes indeed. After going down, what was it, 5-1, they've actually pulled things right back, as you would expect on the CT side. As mentioned, they are very well versed on Nuke, and although Team Spirit have made a decent dent here, NaVi have been running away the last few rounds. It's $2,900 loss bonus for Team Spirit, so a nice full buy after the partial there, and we'll see AKs across the board. No AWP for Mr. Wonderful himself. They'll try and seal the deal with just the AK-47 here.
Well, we spoke about early where would the weak points be, where do they want to target against NaVi. Obviously, it was secret within the early stages, but I don't think it's netted them the reactions they were hoping for. Yeah. Because when they went back to do that top site hit that didn't work, I was like, well, we've been building towards this, and now they've stopped us. So where do we continue to go with these smokes? It's a different variation now. Similar smokes going down, but Chopper hasn't been on towards the silo position with these before. So they're trying to suggest maybe 4 players going down towards, could be an upper split here. With the same smoke, trying to force the rotations down towards lower. Simple this time towards Heaven. Been very dynamic this half. He's all over the place. Difficult to read. Oh, AMAC smokes, I call these. They've smoked lockers. They've smoked over towards main. They're going to try and wrap Heaven, and this is a perfect position. Look at Electronic again. Absolutely sharp stuff as Perfecto looking to lock down the A site. Just 2 more to find. And what started again promising with map control is looking already done and dusted. Shocking scenes from Electronic as he finds yet another kill here. 4 versus 1. Siren in the upper bomb side, but surely doesn't have much of a chance. You can see Electronic, he does want another bite of the cherry here. Fancies his 4th kill, but does decide to fall back. Almost forced to by that Molotov. Bomb down in an awkward position. Bit with the AWP this time, just watching it. And Siren, he'll be more than happy to wait at least 10 seconds, see what opportunities arise. But at this stage, they don't really have to force the issue. They can sit back. They were pretty whippy from Electronic, weren't they? Absolutely. And a perfect position for exactly that type of move. Right, like I call them A-map smokes because what you're trying to do is you're trying to just force fights, right? You're trying to force fights against them towards CT spawn. You're going to force them out from that hell position. Yep. That didn't fall in their favor by any means. Just Siren here, 10 seconds left. And late rounds is something the Spirit have been opting with. I was going to say, if he gets the bomb down, that's a victory in itself, but not meant to be. Electronic will find his 4th. Fantastic round for him, 10 total. The in-game leader now. Actually stepping up. Never thought we'd see the day. I didn't think so either. But, how old do you think he is? He's a baby still. I think 23 maybe, yes, 24? 23. Wow. And he's been doing this since, I think he joined, it was end of 2017, start of 2018, I think.
It's a while, isn't it?
It's like a dream hack, I think, was his first event with the team.
I was asking you this morning, Chad, where did all the time go?
It's wild, right? It's absolutely wild. And to see Young Guns like Wonderful in the server at 17, you know, we've been involved in Counter-Strike for as long as this kid's been alive. So, you know, we keep talking about the new gen, but it doesn't get fresher than this. Here comes an A-pop. Oh, through the flames, through the fire, just into Perfecto again. He'll take those every day of the week.
It is the last round of the half here, and it's a little bit of a weaker approach from Team Spirit. Had the Galils and the Mac-10s here. A bit of a set piece, trying to get through, but mowed down once again. Getting comfy at this point. We are seeing the frags starting to rack up. It's simple and Perfecto delivering the first two here. And I can't imagine there's a world where much of a dent is made in the seated defense. Looking likely for a 9-6 finish for NaVi, which I would say is still a very promising finish here for Team Spirit.
Yeah, as again, the cliches go, pistol, I think, is going to be essential for them if they want to put up a big fight in a map like this. But their early game plan, it was clean. We like what we were seeing. There's been some good shots here. But as soon as NaVi got all the goodies, the full kit and caboodle, right? They've really stalled out Spirit. The Dragon, no fire to be breathed right now. As, again, just waiting for pushes and not coming their way. So, yeah, you're right. I don't see NaVi dropping the ball here.
There's nothing really to be done, is there? Unless a real aggressive CT approach comes through, you get a couple of kills that way, but the positions just look too strong. There'd have to be a fantastic flash at this stage. There's the flash, doesn't yield a kill, and there it is. It's going to be a 4 versus 1. Chop up, the in-game leader. He'll be left down to an impossible scenario. It's going to be 9-6 in favor of NaVi. About what you expect, but as we mentioned, that's a really decent effort from Team Spirit. We haven't seen them for 8 weeks, and a fantastic showing on their map pick. And Chad, I believe we're going to take a quick break and be back with the second half very shortly.
We got some notes to read.
Hey Future Pros! On Nuke today with a util set you can throw to help your teammates pull off a vent dive. First things first, shoot out this window. Climb the ladder, and while running along the raised edge, aim as shown. Running jump throw the molly just before you get to the ladder. This molly is not the best one you can throw for hut, as it will almost always leave a gap above the hut doorway. But for a vent dive or a squeaky push, it's pretty handy. Back up and running jump throw your flashes with the same lineup. I would like to say this is all you need, but your teammates should still nade open the door, smoke the close molly, and then molly and flash into A main to be fully effective with your util. Hopefully your teammates manage this and you'll have a good chance to make it down that vent.
Welcome back to ESL Pro League. NaVi versus Spirit. You join us at halftime when NaVi will have the lead 9-6 as they switch over to the T side. But Chad, it's looking pretty decent from Spirit. We haven't seen them for a while, and so far, so good.
Yeah, I need a bit more out of SDY and Perfecto, though. I've got them in my fantasy team.
Okay,
so
good to know.
I'm really just watching the numbers here, Henry, thinking about the roles I assigned. But all in all, with Team Spirit being, well, on ice for a long period of time, it's exciting to see what they have to offer. And Siren with the Julies, they are in fashion right now.
Absolutely, so is the P250. Simple has got armor and the aforementioned pistol. As we get into it, smoke goes down towards their squeaky drop and electronics on main roof as well. Patsy will be waiting for him, and Simple, he looks deadly right now. He's got that PT-50 in hand. The one-shot kills are possible as the vent dive or sneak actually comes through.
Do they have any idea?
I don't think they do.
Nobody's towards the B side.
And Siren, those dual Berettas will have to do a lot of work here. Is the bomb going to be planted just out of nowhere?
Yeah, they manufactured a gap just by timing and then a light yard presence. Simple can come down and now get the vent rotation, and they can just stroll into the bloody site.
They're probably assuming there's going to be someone here, right, guys? We have to go through all the protocols as we usually would, but there's literally no one.
They're going to come through ramp with multiple players here. The USP good in this position, sure, but the util, there's no smoke. A flash, a HE, a defuse kit, no.
No kit at all. Magix, he knows he has to step up here. Time is of the essence, boys. Start to get stuck in. And there it is, first kill. A lovely one towards Perfecto. A lot more where that came from, though, is required.
Oh, well, Siren's taking that electronic as well. A number advantage here as Bit takes the fight. He's going to get Magix, a headshot from him. Gonna need a couple more as those. Simple tucking in towards the double doors, and Decon currently is where SDY resides. The kills keep coming, and SDY, maybe it truly will be his revenge. Grabs the first, but that's all it's going to be. A great start, a free bomb site. The plant comes through, but the retake for back-to-back pistols here.
I can't believe that. I guess it's a little bit confusing. You get down towards lower. There's no presence whatsoever on the CT side. A 5-on-5 plant and a pistol is a death sentence for a CT side, especially on Nuke. And with no kit as well, you thought there was no chance. And Magix, he opened things up.
Is this one here? This one here? Yeah. Okay. So he could just spam away. That felt like it should have been electronics kill every day of the week, which would have completely removed any concern about the vent rotation. So a little bit skew-if there from Electronic on his lines, but oof. They're bringing the Dexter aura. Or maybe it was Spirit all along, and Dexter's taking the slaps with him here. They love a harsh high five.
Yeah, I saw that at Blast. Dexter loves to give him a good whack, doesn't he?
Let him know he's on your team.
Need the ice packs brought out afterwards.
And it's poor Flames next to him as well. The
He's
young
getting battered and bruised.
Like, come on, man.
Those are expensive hands. Make sure you protect them. There we go then. I can't believe it.
They had the shift tab issue. Okay, guys.
Chad, you make sure. Give the speed. Come on.
Everybody, I know that for most of you, it's very unusual for you to play Counter-Strike on a new computer and a new environment. But when you do, there's two things I want you to do. The first thing is set up your voice communication, right? If TeamSpeak, it's Discord, maybe it's in-game. Just make sure that works. But then after you've done that, disable shift tab, all right? Go into your settings for your friends. Just turn it off. Make sure there's no Steam overlay, or bind it to a key that's not going to be while you're walking around the map. The
on the other side, side of the keyboard. No way that's ever going to get pressed.
Not bad. I use F4.
Okay. I don't know why. That's dangerous. That's kind of like near the kind of prime time area.
Yeah, it is in the danger zone. You're right.
Yeah. But it's okay. But yes, just to be clear, someone hadn't rebound that key on the Team Spirit, and they've had to leave apparently. Normally, because rebind it within the overlay.
Well, I think these days you actually have to go to the desktop and then go like down the bottom, the little icon tray.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk everybody through this. Go settings, in-game, and then over there you're going to have overlay shortcut keys. You can bind that to whatever you would like.
What was Valve thinking making that the default? And to this day, like
shift tab.
Every game uses shift. Every game uses tab in some sense. So why would you have that combo available for that little community hub?
Yeah, when you're shifting around and maybe a teammate dies and you want to check the scoreboard just to see exactly what, or you know, the information on that scoreboard, that's where you find yourself in a bit of trouble. I had to unbind my spacebar key because I noticed when I'd get in fights, I'd hit space when I mainly use mouse wheel to jump.
Okay.
And I use space because I think you should have it on both, but I keep hitting it with my thumb. It's a bad habit. So I've just removed the bind.
Do you have nades bound?
I do.
Okay,
Only the Molotov and the smoke. I think for the flash and the HE, I'll just cycle through 4 because it's either 4
that makes
or
my skin crawl, Chad. Not going to lie to you.
Well, but
what if you're blind? What if you're blind?
Yeah, but it's just bang, bang or bang.
True. What if you pick up a rogue decoy?
You're right. That could cause some issues. I didn't consider the rogue decoys.
Well, here we go then. It is going to be, I believe, the second round, right? Yeah, after that delay. And yeah, no force buy from NaVi, but they have got the Deagles, which in some of these players' hands is good as a rifle sometimes. No armor to speak of, no grenades. Just going to see whether they can find these opening picks. Quite a scary prospect for most teams. We'll see if Team Spirit can fend them off in a clinical manner. Patsy lot of hype around this young man right now. 6 and 13, he's going towards Secret.
Yeah, we need a bit more out of him, I think. One of the most influential characters in this roster.
Yeah.
Feels like he has the personality and attitude on display and in the server. So let's see if he can get the engine started here. SDY with 7 for him, 15 for Perfecto. Those, as I mentioned, the 2 I'm watching.
One of these confidence building grounds, you know. So hopefully he gets a couple of big frags here, locks himself in, secures his finances, and stays alive. But here's his chance now to strike. First kill comes in. We're looking for a couple if possible.
Ooh.
Takes a dink, full back, son. That's enough. And there it is. Good job. Now it's a fadeaway, and he's got a massive advantage for the squad. That's the round pretty much tied in. But Simple, Perfecto, and Bits still towards outside. And Patsy, maybe not quite done yet. Wants another go at this one.
See how many more he can pad here. These are always a great way to get yourself up into the double digits.
Oof, 2 HP, though. But mind on Matt, I'd say just stay alive at this point. Siren closes things out. Very clean round, chat. And the fact they invested in 5 rifles here, that sets them up very nicely against the full buy of NaVi. They could have all the bells and whistles. They could have their grenades, defuse kits. Won't have the AWP, of course, but still, this is absolutely fine. Always going to be a difficult round. The fact you get nothing up in that previous is going to give them this great foundation.
And one of the foundations of NaVi's T-side is the way that they manufacture openings. Now, obviously, there's a lot of different variations. It evolves over time because people are constantly watching the demos. But just so everybody can have a brief understanding, there's traditionally a bit of a smoke thrown towards outside for Electronic to use to lurk behind. And there's always a Molotov thrown top hut. And then they blow open the squeaky door and usually drop a smoke in front of that. Gives multiple options available. And exactly that has happened in this round. You just need to know your radar. We have color-coordinated utility usage, but this is a very aggressive yard stance.
You don't see that position too often.
Not at all.
And Wonderful has dropped off it, but it is a very imposing one. Get that 1 kill and fall back is always excellent.
But the fact that nobody was top silo means that nobody could have cleared close towards red box.
Sure.
So right in this position now, I was going to say Chopper and Patsy could have a field day, but maybe just Patsy now is being drawn back towards top bit with a miracle kill straight through the smoke.
That's the sort of punching monitor situation for Patsy. Does bring it back to the 4 and 4, takes a lot of damage in the process. 12 HP, Chopper patrolling the squeaky area, but it's towards ramp we go. Perfecto to lead the charge. Magix, does he want to stay for 1? Difficult to survive in this position. He's quite committed at this point. He's investigating the situation. Perfecto just waits above him patiently. Sumdai Young joins him as well. They know they have this full ramp control, and they're going to fall away. Okay. They don't even want to.
Yeah, well, and Magix is actually relinquishing control as well because he has to start being worried about Secret. That cross has been given up now. Simple, I don't know if he is aware that this tiny little gap is being held here. How much is Patsy able to glance here just through the little peephole? Simple swung across this line of sight a few times now. And there it is. Patsy with the freebie. Perfecto is going to take Chopper down in towards the top side. They go. Wonderful. The young gun needs to step up now with the rifle in the hand. Under the pressure and can't get it done. Perfecto is looking hot to trot. 17 for him.
Yeah, stifling pressure there. Wonderful. Gives us position by throwing the flashbang as well. A 2-pronged approach, and there it is. Round secured. 3 versus 1. Magix have to just give it up after playing ramp from at the start.
Wow, Perfecto, 18 kills. He's
looking
doing
good, right?
a lot of work.
One of the players that doesn't get mentioned too often in this lineup, considering he's got so many star names around him, and great to see him perform at this level as well. And bear in mind, for the start of Blast, NaVi didn't have Simple, so it's great to see the squad actually get himself in that position where he just turned up and played 2 maps and then pieced out. So, yeah, this team, definitely one of the best-looking NaVi lineups we've ever seen, I would say.
Yeah, I think that it's scary now when you look at the players they have in the positions they're in, right? Perfecto is the new Zipex, right?
Sure.
That's how a lot of people look at him these days. You obviously have Bit, who's come on in, taken that mantle of being the headshot machine, and then well, the guys we've been talking about for years, I'm sure everybody at home is fed up of hearing about it, is the Simple Electronic duo. And then SDY's brought in here to do his job, right? He just needs to be a complementing member. You already have all the stars there, mate. You just need to keep your head down, get your 1 kill around, communicate well, and you're going to find yourself in a position for success here. So here's, yeah, you could see, so Patsy catching him there, just walking across the line and towards main. Not ready for that one was Simple, but it didn't matter. Perfecto here to play in a big way.
Well, like we said, money was actually pretty good for Team Spirit after the second round, keeping 5 players alive, so they will have 1 more buy here, but concessions to be made, of course. It's going to be Wonderful on the Scout. Now, Chad, I know you're an avid Scout user. How are you feeling about this on Nuke?
Well, you can stay very mobile, right? But the thing is, you need to make sure you're aiming for those headies. Like, the body tags are fine, but if you want to make sure you really have some stopping force, the headshot almost essential here. And Patsy, is he going to get flashed through? Looking for a gap.
He's got a bit of a gap there, but Simple to open things up. And my God, he finds 2. The Scout, it doesn't connect. And we will see just that body shot come through. 29 HP for Simple. A 5 versus 3. Like we said, a difficult round with those scouts, FAMASs, and they do have a kit, but only one smoke remaining and only 2 players at this point. Simple's having an absolute field day out there. Perfecto, he'll find that penultimate frag, and just Siren, who is on T roof, an interesting position. It was a different situation, perhaps, but maybe not so much right now.
I'm surprised how much cover there is on T roof. For a position that very rarely gets used, there's like aircon vents and pipes.
It's like cat and mouse sometimes. Like if you know a T's on that roof and you're trying to find him, they can just be ducking and weaving down ladders behind aircon units. It can be quite overwhelming. The angles are very strange when you're coming out the lobby as well, trying to look up.
Let's see if he can hold on to this, because that's the best Spirit really going to be able to walk away with in a round like this. Getting themselves up to an 11-round, well, it's not an 11-round lead, but 11-8.
And they only get $1,900 next round as well. So money has run dry. They need to stay this M4 ideally. Would be great if they did. Would give them some sort of stopping power. It's round number 20.
The biggest issue here, and I'm hoping it's a little bit different when we make it into map 2, but you're going to see with the desk, and this is the analysis breakdown that I would have been doing back in the day, is, okay, well, the underdog team won both pistols. They got some conversions. The scoreline looks more competitive than the game actually was, right? And that right there is frustrating that that's the narrative here. But as soon as NaVi had a couple of rounds where maybe they overpeaked, or, you know, there's a couple of nice shots there from Spirit.
It was a weird tone for the first 5 rounds, right? They were being way too aggressive on the CT side. Sure, they were winning some of those rounds, but it was strange decisions that were being made.
I think one of the things as well, and this is something we've spoken about for a very long time, Spirit are a good team, don't get me wrong here.
Of course.
But when we talk about it for a very long time, it's like you have to like earn the respect of the better team, and I think they have the respect with how much room was being given in certain situations. But when you have Simple doing that, right, he just wants to fight, man. He just wants to get in your face.
That's the thing, and sometimes you can't stop him. Whatever you do, there's no setup that can deny headshots, unfortunately. So once he's hitting them and getting you through smoke and all sorts as well, it's very overwhelming, can get in your head, and maybe you're not calling your best game. You're worried because he's everywhere, every round. How does he keep changing his position? How does he keep hitting these shots? And it can be very frustrating. But just to note, it will be a little timeout here, but we have got Team Spirit with the M4 saved, and they've got a kit, 1 smoke, a Zeus. Chad, to get ready on the sound effect, please.
Yep.
First multi-Zeus to come through. That would be quite a moment, I think, for everyone on the island.
They'll love it here. There'll be fireworks.
Exactly. There'll be fireworks going off for sure. We see that first Zeus kill. It's going to be an absolute party tonight.
Just so everybody can get it on the in-joke, here in Malta, they love their fireworks.
Every day, every morning.
Yeah, they do fireworks during the day. When
you can't see them.
But it's definitely, you can hear them.
Oh, for sure you can hear them.
I can confirm
that. Like,
they do the cannons every day in Valletta at 12.
Sleep, but happy to hear the fireworks every morning.
Well, they're having a great time with it, and so are NaVi with all this space across. Like Trono's got over towards Secret, his favorite place on the map, I believe. That's not official, but it may as well be. He finds himself here more often than not. You can just say things these days with enough conviction.
No one's going to check. Yeah, it's fine. Say whatever you like. Just as long as you believe it, it might as well be true. You know? I think that's the rule. There's the Zeus down towards lower, and it's going to be Patsy.
Radiation-controlled area.
Absolutely.
We've already got too many problems. Like, there's too much to discuss, and he's in a... dear.
Well, there it is. Bits will take down the in-game leader. Chopper is chopped down to size as we go into Siren's M4. Every second that goes by, becoming less and less effective. You'll be thinking about how I can save the weapon. They've gone for a focus down towards lower, just hoping a bit of a mistake is made and they'll walk into the stack. But it doesn't seem to be the case so far. We'll check in with the other members here, see what they're up to. Looks like towards upper bomb site as well. They'll be going. There goes the plant. And like I said, just saving the M4 is going to be objective number 1 here. Siren, couple of kills. Gets himself some cash there.
I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready.
You weren't ready at all, and that's disappointing. You kind of ruined Pro League already. First day, Pro League's ruined.
I'm so sorry, everybody. I didn't see that happening.
The Maltese people can't believe it.
Well, we got Rush the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the ones to zeros.
Maybe he kind of ruined it, yeah.
Rush, if you're gonna, you need to highlight that earlier for me. And you know I need a lead-in.
You should be predicting that, Rush.
I need a lead-in.
Well, there it is. You don't see many of them these days.
Here we go. Ah!
You've been working on it.
I didn't do it full conviction, though.
No, okay.
It was only like because I feel like I half-assed the situation, so.
It's okay. Well, with plenty more opportunities, 5 weeks to go, Chad, and we'll be right back to the next round. It's going to be a very quick approach here from NaVi. Exchanging kills, exchanging shots, and Wonderful doing his best once again behind that silo, but it's not going to be quite enough here. Magix and Potsy once again just holding back, and they're smoked out, bomb planted. 2 smokes available here on the T side, and
should be a save.
It should be, but I guess it's one of those rounds where you're just like, well, if you get a quick frag, maybe we can go for it. But yeah, definitely calling it a day. 13-8, and You keep out map number 2 at this point, which is Dust 2.
Look, it's had patches, but it's now the patchwork is starting to come apart.
Sure.
I think and I want to make sure that this is reinforced, right? Because a lot of people, maybe you're just tuning in, maybe you just thought, hey, I just want to watch Spirit play. But they are one of the cusp teams here, right? So we obviously have NaVi, Vitality, and NIP. And those 3, I think, is what most would have going through to the playoff stage. Top 3 out of the 6 teams per group go through the playoffs for week number 5. But Spirit, Fnatic, and Endpoint are all here to play spoiler in a way.
Yes, they'll be looking to upset whoever they can, and there's a chance they could get the top 3. Like a team like Vitality or NIP, not lock-ins, I would say. Definitely the favorites, but they have their weaknesses. They'll be suffering from fatigue as well. They just went to Blast. All that information is out there. A couple of fresh legs on the Fnatic side as well. Who knows what they're going to bring to the table, you know? So one upset result, sure, they're best of 3s here, but it can happen and will happen at Pro League.
And that's why these opening games are the most important for the favorite teams, because they're up against these underdogs, right? So for NaVi, taking the scalp here, it's very important to do so, right? You can't be dropping the ball to one of these, because once we get towards the end of play, there could be some issues and issues again. Magic's down towards top, bit with the opening kill. Smoke hasn't landed quite where he wanted it, but can get the room.
Nice
no,
work.
he can't. That's a great find from Chopper there to draw things level. This is a must-win round from Spirit here if they want to be in some contention. It's not a full invest, but this would be a great one to get them fired up.
They're on their feet though, Chad, with 2 M4s here. Chopper gets the 3rd. That's the AK-47, and the boost, sometimes overlooked, to be honest with you. It's a handy little position. You should be checking it if you're a top team, but there's so many angles to clear. The fact there's no real presence baiting him in, I suggest they do come in and just take him down, but if he gets 1 kill, Chad, that's more than enough. Yeah. He's only got that Desert Eagle. He has no armor, no grenades. 1 kill in this position would be great. It's up to Simple to check it, and he is holding quite an awkward angle, not fully committing to the walk-in.
They've initially cleared it here.
Nah, there it is. Nice work. Good job.
Diligent work, right?
Absolutely.
And that's what I was meaning about SDY, right? If he just does, like, people might overlook that when I say doing your job. Always being diligent, right? Jordan put a nice term out there back in the day. He called it like lazy clears, right?
Sure,
Players who would go through the motions, but they wouldn't have the intent to go for those type of fights.
You're just doing it to say you're not really checking. You haven't fully committed to the corner. You're just looking because you're, oh, I have to check this, right?
So right there, SDY definitely didn't have a lazy clear, and that could have been a real rumbling within the round. Now Chopper's dealt with here, just 2 more to find, and again, likely want to hold on to these investments just to carry through. Make sure they have a full buy into the next. The loss bonus is maxed out. They do have that positive, but we're trying to frame a negative as a positive here because the game's running away from them. 14 to be inscribed very shortly here.
Absolutely. Have to save the M4s once again. Not the most sexy decision. We'd like to go for the retake here, but there's not enough rounds to play with. Need the cash to be strong going forward. A decent effort. Chop with that Deagle kill. Getting a couple of rifles in their hand. There was a moment. If that kill had to come in towards Ramprom, I think this round would be on. But not meant to be. And it will be 14-8. Touching distance now for NaVi.
Just a bit of a story of how well Perfecto is playing in a game like this. He's 4-1 in opening duels. So he's been involved in 5 opening exchanges and won 4 of them. That's fantastic work from an anchor player like Perfecto. And then you look a little bit more forward. The multi-kill stats is at 6 of which. It makes sense. He's got 21 kills to his name right now. He's having a great game. Just under that 180 R mark. So really good stuff to get from Perfecto in a map like Nuke. But you look at the opening kill stats for most of the players. Simple's 4-2 in openings. You got 3-0 in Electronic, 3-1 for Bit. So the opening kills definitely favoring NaVi here.
Great stuff from Perfecto. Someday Young clearing those corners. Very clean rounds. Wonderful in the AWP. Now, he said in the pre-game, we're looking forward to that CT presence. Will he be as effective as Simple? Will he be such a nuisance? Changing position every round. I don't think he'll be as aggressive, but I'd like to see him be dynamic. Starting off towards Heaven here at the start. And just looking for that outside play, which will be coming through a little bit later than you might expect. But here we go. Molotov to push Patsy back, but he still has a little bit of control there as the full wall of smokes are deployed. Electronic to clear out the close corners. And there is a massive gap there. Patsy gets the first, and Wonderful's almost guaranteed to get the second here. He doesn't miss these sort of shots. They know about it. They've spotted it. I think they're re-smoking him. Or maybe he does, Chad. He was quite blind, but Chopper will make up for a double kill potential, and he converts.
Oh, the fact that they got across, I thought they're getting away with murder here. Chopper makes sure he does exactly that.
Was there a Molotov down? Is that why the smoke had such a massive gap? That's all I can really
it must have been, you either got unforced errors there or you've got forced errors, right? And there was a lot of utility out towards Yard. It didn't catch exactly what forced that issue, but either way, could still be a response from NaVi here. 2 players remaining, Bit and Electronic. Sure, Bit low on HP. They've got 30 seconds left on the clock, and they need to get through Magix towards this lower side. If they can deal with Magix here, they can get the bomb down at least.
Well, you've got two heavy hitters, Bit and Electronic here, known for the headshots, and it's a lovely spot though for Magix. Difficult to flush this one out on top of the lower silo. M4 in hand, he's got himself 100 HP, a flashbang in his back pocket. The time, as soon as they open the door, he's guaranteed a kill and the round at this stage, I would say. It's going to be Bits with the low HP, trying to just find one kill, not meant to be. And there we go. It's going to be the first gun round we've picked up on the Team Spirit side. After winning the pistol, converting the second, they lost 5 rounds in a row. So the first gun round, we're going to have to see a lot more where that came from before they can start breaking the bank. We've got $11,000 on towards Young. Simple not far behind with 7K. Couple of drops, couple of concessions perhaps here, but they have got AKs across the board. And in terms of residual cash, Simple still with $6,000. They'll have one more buy in them if they give this one up cleanly.
Yeah, as long as they get that bomb down as well, right? They'll be sitting pretty. So the question is, do NaVi button this one up, close it quickly, or does Team Spirit have a bit of a comeback? And that is a comeback from Wonderful. Aggressive towards ramp, showing Simple exactly how it's done. And Bit looking for space. He's been found, and Chopper almost making a mare, does get the kill. So 2 openings here for Spirit. Looking to get double digits. Looking to turn their fate around, and Electronic peppers away. They know this position noted now, and Patsy, Cheeky Beaky, might get in for free. 2 of them, the lineup, they're almost doubled up for him there. Perfecto walked in, SDY gets the kill back. Wonderful. Onto Electronic, and all it will be is SDY, the last man standing, to stall this one out.
Okay, well, that's the question answered there, Chad. Has Wonderful got the minerals inside him to go for those sort of picks against Simple, and he delivers him a taste of his own medicine. And boy, is it ever bitter. And it's going to be that opening kill, forcing them outside. Great sequence from Patsy afterwards as well. Wonderful closes things out. This is looking decent now. They've got double digits. That's normally a mental barrier for teams like this on the CT side. No reason why you can't get back into it. A couple of rounds in a row, as mentioned, with no bomb going down. They have 1 buy available. This looked like quite an easy kill for, okay, easy, but in terms of the way Simple approaching, no flash, no real utility users, going for the dry peak. It was going to be unlikely he was going to find much more than a death there with the AWP in presence.
Look how awkward this turns out. I think Perfecto wants to walk into credit card there, right?
Sure, he bumps into him.
Yeah, and just that, oh, well, thank you very much. I'll take that one every day of the week here. Right. So great work from Patsy there, exploiting that gap. But Wonderful has 3 kills in that round, right? I believe he's leading the charge right now for his team. 20 kills. He has 6 more than the next closest, which is Siren right now on 14. So a really good showing, right? As I mentioned, only 12 maps with the addition of Wonderful to the team. And we've heard him getting talked about. He's been a bit of a prospect. It's great now to get to see more of him in the server.
Huge boots to fill as well. Dexter, considered in a lot of people's top 5s in terms of AWPers right now. And he's living up to the expectation. Fantastic work as we get into round number 25, ladies and gents. It's going to be Bit firing off bullets towards main entrance here. NaVi, their T side, a little bit hamstrung with just a few bits of utility, but once again, sneaking down this vent. They managed to do this on pistol, Chad, but it didn't really work out for them. So it's the same approach, but this time fully equipped.
Yeah, with all these extra nades, one of the issues, right, was the fights they had to take towards ramp. Well, now they have the nades to deal with exactly that. Molly back for now. The prong to try and keep Magix busy is stalled out. Util being thrown. They've mollied off the vent. They've smoked out towards ramp. Nobody has rotated lower yet for Spirit.
It's kind
the bomb's going to get planted, and then they're going to go, well, it's a 5v5 retake.
You're not against Glocks this time, though. You're against the AK-47s, and you've got the AWP on the retake as well.
Well, they know now.
You have to go for it, of course, but at this point, it's a very, very difficult round. Simple looking to backstab at this point. He could find himself 3 kills if he times as well. They know of it, though. They're aware. They can't spend too much time sniffing him out.
Oh,
nice work from Chopper.
Well, gives himself up. That's a big kill for Chopper back in here. Smoke out from the door. The Util's going to be a big question mark on this retake. Couple of flashes. HE in the mix. Kits are plenty right now. 5-on-4. Bomb halfway gone, and coming through the vents is Siren. Bomb's been tapped. Bomb's been tapped. Electronics grab 1. They have to push forward here. The kills are back. No one's on the defuse right now. Patsy's found the final kill. The defuse. Is there going to be time for this? It's going to be tight.
I think they've got it.
Just.
Yeah, it's a huge, huge round. And once again, Chad, it's the exact same outcome. A 5-on-5 bomb planted. Normally, in all of my history of CS, that's the round done. There should be no way for that retake, but they keep making it work, and it was Simple once again. It's these backstabbing players that get caught out, and then the round seems to fall apart. It was Electronic towards Squeaky Door on the pistol, and now Simple trying to go for the big kill towards Ram. He's found by Chopper, and it all falls apart once again.
Well, I guess as the old adage goes, right, giving them enough rope to hang themselves, right? You're exactly where we want you to be. We're exactly where we know you're going to be, and then just a well put together retake there. Sure, it gets scrappy, right? Sure, it gets a little bit less than desirable, but as long as you get the conversions and opening this time from Electronic, Wonderful has missed a shot, pretty unusual to say, and he's under the pump right here.
Yeah, that's a huge kill from Electronic. Would love to see that from his POV as Wonderful does go down. And after that great previous one, to give this round up and allow NaVi to find map point on Team Spirit's pick, that would be disappointing. The money would be okay for another buy, so that's not really an issue. But the round's not done yet. Magics will pull one back. A huge scalp to take as well. That's Electronic. 4 versus 3, and they get down towards Secret.
Let's just get Bit of gun, though. That's if I'm Bit, that's what I'm thinking right now.
He's got the Glock armor. Okay.
It's a classic. It's a special. We'd love to find him a rifle here. He's still a number on the board, and that's one of the bigger issues right now for Spirit.
Glamour.
Well, he can plant. At least we know exactly what Bit's role is going to be in this round. There'll be no covering for a Bit.
Point,
you will be getting the bomb down, and we will protect you.
I guess the most destructive weapon of them all, the C4. So we'll see what he can do with it. Try and get that down quickly, but the retakes
Could be a timing here.
have been Spirit's forte here, and you're absolutely right. It's up to Chopper, but some die young. Puts him in the grave, and 4 versus 2. I dare say this retake won't be as successful as the previous.
Bit is playing for the round win something ridiculous. Like, he's just gone and tucked in towards Dark. The first thing I'd be doing is heading straight towards that corpse and picking up that M4, thinking, what am I doing with this pea shooter in my hand, man? So, look, he's going to get himself a gun. I'm sure of it. Here we go. Now he's making the move. He might just run into the den, though. Don't do Bit like this. Come on now. Give him an opportunity here. He does have the rifle at least. He can stay alive down towards the lower side of the map. Surely they're just looking for damage here. There's no time for this.
There was a moment I thought he's going to knife out and jump on the bomb. Okay, same again.
He's being cheeky right here. So we know that players can survive in that window, and well, so does Magic. So he's trying to do some damage, and he's the one that takes all of
It's not the end of the world. Like I said, they had to buy, but having 2 AK-47s at the next round, especially at positions like ramp, that's what you want to have. They're giving them up. It wouldn't have really done too much damage, really. Like, the T's would still be able to buy. You might have had a knock-on effect going forward, but I think you might have just hampered yourself here. But this was an awkward round for Wonderful. He misses that first shot towards Siren, and then at this stage, it kind of all fell apart as Samdai Young closes things out. And there we go.
Oh, they've double AWP'd. That's the answer, apparently, as well as some yard aggression. Patsy playing behind the smoke, Wonderful behind red, and Chopper to try and help them out from this main position. Magix has the secondary over towards ramp right now, but the action is all towards yard. Electronic has multiple members behind him here to help on out.
Wonderful, setting himself up for another aggressive play. This time delivers once again. Samdai Young removes, and he wants a second bite of the cherry here. We'll see whether he can actually deliver. His teammate Patsy goes down. They know Wonderful's still in the vicinity. Can they find him? Great shot here from the young AWPer. 2 versus 2, has he done enough? It might not be. The Deagle looked poised for another headshot there.
Yeah, time to click. Thought it could have been lights for Perfecto there, and now it's Magic's. Not known to be an AWPer, but brought it out here to defend. I'm bringing back all the classics, Henry. Don't you worry, mate. We're bringing back all the classics here.
Not known to be an AWPer. And yes, indeed, Chad, he will be up against it here in a 2 versus 1. AWP in towards that garage position. There is the kit, I believe we're being told.
Yeah,
yes,
we got J-Raz on the cinematics.
Oh, excellent. Shout out to Jay.
We've got Rushley doing the 1s and 2s, and we've got maybe Magic's doing exactly that in a 1-on-2.
Well, he'll have to find this first kill. I dare say he might do. Smoke towards Squeaky. The swing comes round, and that's going to be it. It's going to be 16-11 on the map pick of Team Spirit as well. It was a great start, Chad. They had that 5-1 lead. The pistol was convincing. The follow-ups were clean, but they just couldn't hold on. The aggression from Simple was overwhelming.
Yeah, taking care of business here, and you have to give a bit of a highlight to Perfecto. Had a great game, 25 kills. He's going to end that one on, so fantastic stuff.